Okay, wonderful. Well, thank you for coming. And I'm just recording this. If you think of someone while we're talking and you're like, well, I wish I had this recording, then we'll have it. And basically, I'm going to share with you what I've learned about better health for the last 26 years. I can't believe it's been that long. And I am coming up on my 60th birthday, and I feel like I'm healthier now. I know I'm healthier now than when I was 20 or 30. Okay. I have learned a lot of good habits from being in this community, which is the Juice Plus community. We're a like-minded group of people who are just making simple changes for better health. It's like continuous improvement, switching out things, really focusing on how are we getting nutrients. I was with somebody today and it was 3 o'clock and she had only had a bowl of dry cereal. And I'm like, that is not how you can fuel your brain or your body or, and and so of course I got that across to her. But anyway, it's just, sometimes people aren't thinking nutrients. I know I wasn't when I was younger. I was thinking, what is my next meal? Or where am I going to get my next meal? And that's about the extent of it. I wasn't thinking about how nutrition ties into energy levels or disease processes or the prevention of disease or the culmination of disease. So it does. Nutrition has a big part in it. And so what we're doing daily, putting in our mouth or some habits are what's going to be the habits that predict how we are later. So I don't know about you guys, but I want optimal health, not mediocre health. So that's what, the goal is and that we'll focus on. All right. So we talk about one simple change, making simple changes for your better health. All right, because there are so many diseases in America. We are one of the most affluent countries, but we have a lot of disease processes. And when we go to the doctor, basically they are treating symptoms. They are working with their toolbox that they have, which is mostly looking at symptoms. All right. So you've got to be the one. Sorry, I wanted to zoom that back so you could read. You've got to be the one to be the advocate for wellness and prevention and being proactive instead of reactive. Okay. And I heard a nutritional naturopathic doctor say many years ago, what's really going to predict whether or not you have certain diseases or disorders is what you eat and do every day, your lifestyle habits. So even though your doctor visits might be okay for now, you want to look at your habits. Okay. So we've got heart disease, cancer, diabetes, obesity, and I like to also add autoimmune disorders. Autoimmune disorders, I think, are rampant, where people have things that were never heard of before, or sometimes earlier than adulthood. Like it used to be called adult onset diabetes. Now it's called type 2 because children were getting it also. So there's different things that are happening because we have so many things we're battling in our environment and in our foods, because we're just living a different lifestyle than they did, way back when. Like in the 50s, this on the picture would be considered birthday party foods, but you can get this anywhere. You go now. It's readily available. You could have a dessert, a gourmet dessert every night if you just go to the grocery store, which, sometimes that's what I do. I am very tempted by all that. I am not a perfect eater. Okay, let me just be clear about that. I do things to offset my habits, okay? And so I do have some bad habits, and I also am very aware when I have those habits, education is everything and knowledge. So anyway, our lifestyle habits are making us unhealthy. Our sedentary lifestyle habits, like sitting for so long, where maybe our bodies, we were used to moving a lot before, but now we've got everything we need on our phone, right? Or on our computer. So we're really sitting a lot. Our food quality is decreasing. There's toxins in the air and things that get on our skin and the things we breathe and drink and all that. And then the food is very processed and it's really meant for the manufacturers. They add trans fat to make the stuff stay, fresh longer or just not rot right away. So I like to say if it doesn't rot or sprout, throw it out. And so we've had some experimental things that we've done that do not rot. So just think about, is this fueling my body? Or is this something that's really taxing my body? So I should try to make up for it or try to reduce that, because what we do 80% of the time is what's going to matter. And then we just have less nutrition in our produce nowadays. So what can we do? Of course, exercising, moving our body. Our bodies were meant to move. I go to a massage guy whenever I'm really wrecked. Whatever athletics I'm doing, which is racquetball or pickleball, then I go to him. He fixes me and I'm like, so I could go to racquetball tonight, right? And he's like, yeah, motion is lotion. So even though you might feel like you're stiff or maybe you can't exercise, you got to just get it going so that your body will want to move. And so exercise is a big thing, whether you start with just walking, 10 minutes of walking briskly will get you 2 more hours of energy, believe it or not. There's been studies done. Then sleeping is important. That's when your hormones come out to play, the ones that we need to come out. And you want to stop eating so that your body can mostly digest. So a lot of people are into intermittent fasting. We have something called the reset, where we say just try to not eat after 7. Now you could just pick whatever hour you want. If 7 doesn't work for you, maybe it's 8, maybe it's 6. But pick a time when you're like, the kitchen's closed, I'm going to stop eating, because the more your body eats all day, it just kind of has to go through a lot of different processes. But for sleeping, you want to make sure that you are able to let your body sleep instead of digest. It will really pay off for you. Managing stress, doing the things that you need to do to self-care. Sometimes we're busy doing everything else, but it's really important to manage stress because that could be a killer. And drinking water, half our body weight in ounces is what's suggested. So a 200-pound man would drink 100 ounces of water. So you wouldn't just do 8 glasses of water, you would do 100 ounces. And then if you're out in the hot sun, if you're exercising, if you're drinking caffeine, you're supposed to drink even more water. So you want to think of it as, how am I hydrating my cells, and how am I detoxing my body? Eating real food. Eating real food will also help you detox. Sometimes people are like, I'm going to do a detox over the weekend. Well, fruits and vegetables detox you all the time. We will talk about fruits and vegetables. They are the foundation of better health. So 75% of chronic disease is preventable with good nutrition. If you go to, say, Barnes and Noble and you look, there's whole books, whole aisles of books that say reverse this, reverse that, as far as different disease processes. So you don't want to get hung up on the medical system of treatment. Just know that the things that you can control a lot, so that you are not a victim of the medical system. Sometimes you have to take certain medications, but you can also do other things that are on the wellness side or proactive side. So how do fruits and vegetables protect us? The bad news is that we all have oxidative stress. It's good to know that, because you could look up any disease or disorder about oxidative stress and say diabetes. You're going to see that it's highly correlated. Oxidative stress occurs in diabetes. It occurs in lots of disease processes. And so we're just breathing, we're making oxidative stress. And the byproduct of that is called free radicals. Those free radicals hit on your good cells 10,000 oxidative hits a day. So you want to protect yourself, and that's where antioxidants come in. And that is the good news, that we weren't just put on this earth to oxidize, but to also have antioxidants through fruits and vegetables. So that's what will protect the cells. And so you can see down at the bottom, a normal cell, it doesn't have a lot of damage, but we're all going to get damage over time. That is aging. But this is about slowing the aging process. And that's what fruits and vegetables do for us, because that's where you get a lot of antioxidants. We don't want oxidative stress. And so we need to eat lots of fruits and vegetables. The government says 7 to 13. All the governments around the world have different amounts. But the people who work with people trying to prevent disease, they say even more. So you want to just pile them on every single day, all the different colors as much as possible. People are really having a hard time eating 7 to 13 though, but it's really important to have a lot, because the produce is picked before it is ripened, so it doesn't have as many nutrients. It's transported thousands of miles, and we're not usually getting the darkest, densest ones, in all the different colors. So a lot of people fail to meet those daily servings. We're going to tell you about Juice Plus, which can definitely help that. But first, let's look at also what is in fruits and vegetables, which is vitamins and minerals. Okay. And so when you have an apple or a peach or a pear or papaya, whatever, any of the fruits or vegetables, they all have about 10,000 nutrients. And so only one of those is vitamin C. And so when you just take out vitamin C and put it in the multivitamin, you're missing the 9,999 other good things that were in the fruit or vegetable. So when you have the whole food, it's working in synergy like an orchestra. And so you wouldn't just have like a drum, right? You would want to have the whole orchestra. So the whole food concept is much better. And 5 milligrams in the apple is equal to 1,500 isolated. And it's a little bit dangerous to have mega vitamins all the time. So, and you can research that on your own. But fruits and vegetables are where it's at. It's great for disease prevention. It's great to get to the mitochondria in our cells, or what we actually need for energy and also protection of disease. So this is Juice Plus. I was exposed to this 26 years ago when my friend was like, it has all your vitamins and minerals and everything you need, and it's Jetsons come to life. Some of you might be too young to know what Jetsons is, but it's like astronaut food. So this is a very simple, like fast food that's healthy, and it's one of the most significant things you can do for your health. The fruit blend has fruits in it, the vegetable blend has vegetables, and the berry blend has berries. And it's the whole rainbow of all the different colors, and they all do different things. Red is good for prostate cancer, berries are good for brain health and circulation. Greens, we need our iron, we need magnesium, we need calcium, different things like that. So we need all the different elements. And so that would be taking two of each capsule is, a bunch of fruits and vegetables. That's 30 fruits and vegetables that you can have before you even leave the house. And then we have an omega blend, which is vegan. Everything with Juice Plus is vegan. And so I started just with the fruits and vegetables many years ago, and I had bad allergies. I was not thinking it was related at all to how I was eating. And I was suppressing my immune system all the time because they say if you have a candy bar and a Coke or a soda, that basically your immune system is suppressed for 6 hours. Well, I was doing that nonstop pretty much because I was going to the library as a grad student, just bringing M&Ms and Coca-Cola. So I had bad allergies. I was getting allergy shots. I had Kleenex in my hand all the time. And I also was really tired. And I was also a part of the medical system where I would get chronic cough and antibiotics and all that stuff. But I never thought that was related to nutrition. I didn't know better. And so when I started taking Juice Plus, it really helped to give me that vitality, the energy to last through the whole day, and also to eventually I no longer have allergy symptoms. I also had problems with my skin because of the allergies and maybe my gut health. I had bumps on the backs of my arms, tops of my legs, and it was like I was a guidance counselor and people were like, "What's wrong, Mrs. Farrar? What's wrong with you?" I'm like, "Oh, dang, I shouldn't have wore that kind of a dress," or showed them the backs of my arms, because if I would just itch it a little bit, it'd get all red and inflamed. So Juice Plus totally helped me with that, and I also used it as a prenatal for my second and third pregnancies. And my whole family has used this over the years. So Juice Plus also comes in a gummy chewable form, the fruits, the vegetables, berries. And we partner with family farmers. We harvest at the peak of ripeness, which is where you'll get more nutrients. It's quick frozen at the farms to prevent the loss of valuable nutrients. It's pulverized. It's not juiced, it's pulverized. So you're getting the leaves, the seeds, the peels, and any fiber that they can pulverize, and then they dry it at low temperatures, and then they concentrate it into powders, which is really cool. And it's in vegan capsules, soft chews, and now we have a little stick pack that we can add to water too, which I'll show you in a minute. So Juice Plus is unique in many ways, but the top three is number one, it's a food. It is not considered a vitamin supplement, and the company went to great lengths with, FDA attorneys to make sure the label shows that it's food. So this would be bridging the food gap, which I don't know if you guys are going and buying lots of fruits and vegetables or even able to eat them all if you do buy them and they sit in the fridge and they start deteriorating. But it's a food. And so it has a food label. It's NSF certified, so it is safe. It's safe for pregnant women, children, all types of people. And what they have certified is that what's on the label is in the product and vice versa. And there's no contaminants, pesticides, banned substances. It's also certified for sports, for athletes. So college athletes or football players, or Olympians can take Juice Plus and have. And it is the most researched nutritional product in the world. So I have a couple master's degrees, and one was heavy in science. So there were only 3 studies when I started, and one was about oxidative stress and how that's reduced within 28 days. And I was just fascinated because I heard that every day that you don't get enough fruits and vegetables, it's like standing in front of an x-ray machine. And then we have this oxidative stress. And so they found that with Juice Plus, that was reduced within 28 days. So I was like, that is so cool. So that was just one of the 48 studies on Juice Plus. They also looked at the immune system. The immune system is better in 80 days. The DNA strand breakage is better within 80 days. And so that also is because you have less oxidative stress. And those are just a few of the studies. We also have a Healthy Starts for Families I'll talk about where children can get Juice Plus for free. This is the superfood powder that you can add to water. I like to add it to a smoothie now. Oh my gosh, I've been making a vanilla smoothie with superfood and some strawberry, banana, pineapple mixture. It is so good. And it's really refreshing. Anyway, this superfood you can add to water, you can add to seltzer. It is a way to get the equivalent of the 6 capsules, the fruits, the vegetables, and the berries. So you're getting 30 different fruits, vegetables, berries every single day, including kale, beets, cranberry, all the dark, dense colors. The clinical research on Juice Plus has been done at these different universities and medical centers, including University of Mississippi on pregnant women, Nemours on children, and University of Texas MD Anderson Cancer Center on stage 4 ovarian cancer patients. And I point that out because those are all very fragile populations that universities and medical centers would never let you touch with somebody's research, some random person or company. And they have allowed Juice Plus to do that because it's considered safe and effective. And all those different universities and medical centers use real people with Juice Plus. It's not borrowed research like a certain berry that they borrow and say, therefore, Juice Plus works. That's not how it goes. So here is kind of an outline of what happens in the body over time. And I'm going to ask Karen Roach to go ahead and Roche to share her story because it probably relates to some of these different research studies and everything. And I don't even know, but she's always incredible with why she chose Juice Plus. So I want you guys to hear from her. Uh-oh, you're muted.
Oh, sorry about that.
That's okay.
So, I've been on the product probably 12, almost 13 years. And it goes back, like I have lost 4 members in my family to early onset Alzheimer's. And back 12 years ago was when my very own mom got diagnosed at the same age that I'm actually right now. Um, at 60, I'm 60, she was 62 actually. And when I found that out, and it really got close to home because I lost my grandmother, I lost my aunt, and then I found out my mom was diagnosed. And then even actually just 4 months ago, I put my cousin to rest, who was only 3 years older than me now. And so it really hit home when my mom got diagnosed because I thought, oh my gosh, I'm next. So I became the biggest research nerd trying to figure out what I could do to get my family at optimal health. And so what I had learned was actually pretty simple, but not easy, was just what Sharon was touching on, is that 95% of chronic disease came from nutritional deficiencies, toxic ingredients, making bad food choices, not getting enough exercise, And it's basically our lifestyle was our medicine. And that's what I learned. And I was like, wow, okay, we can do things. So when I started reading, I found that if I could eat 14 to 15 fruits and vegetables a week, you could actually just turn off your bad genes and turn on your good genes. So my family was doing that. I was going to the grocery store. Well, my intention was to do that. I should say I would go to the grocery store, fill up my shopping cart with fruits and vegetables, told my family we're changing the way we're eating. We're going to get at least this amount in every single week because then we can change our genes. And so, or suppress our genes. And so, I'm running them to tennis, golf, basketball, baseball. There's no way we were going to eat these fruits and vegetables, but every single week I would try again and try again. My daughter was in college then, fast forward a few years, and she was a nutrition major. She ended up actually listening to a presentation that we are listening to tonight. She called me up and said, Mom, I think I found something. And she said, I know we're trying to eat all these fruits and vegetables and we're having trouble doing so. I found something that I think will help. And I said, well, I'm not interested in taking capsules. That's not going to help our optimal health. We're not going to be able to, prevent this disease by eating capsules. So I told her I wasn't interested. I said, we need something with research. We need real food. And she said, Mom, it's got research and it is real food. So that got my attention. And so I was convinced by the lady that showed her the presentation. She filled me in with what it was actually whole food nutrition in a capsule. She gave me all the research. I said, okay, we'll give it a try. So we have been on it for 12 years. Now, fast forward, I did realize that one of the research studies that really caught my attention was the reason I tried it was that if you are on Juice Plus for 15 weeks, I'm sorry, 8 weeks, 1,500 of our genes are actually changed. So we turn on our good genes and we can turn off our bad genes. And that actually happens by taking Juice Plus consistently. So that really got my attention. But then all these years, we take this daily, consistently, and you wonder, what is it really doing? So I had been actually battling chronic mercury poisoning, or I had chronic nerve pain for 20 years. Nobody could figure out what it was. Mayo Clinic told me I was crazy. They were doing MRIs every year, saying nothing's wrong with you. Um, and I finally found my way to a functional medicine doctor who found out I had mercury poisoning. And she did a full blown, full lab panel, lots of information. That she had found. And she said, I am very impressed with your nutrition that's in your blood panel. I can't believe how, how, how good you eat. What are you doing? And she said, two things. She said, your nutrition level in your blood is incredible, but you've got very chronic mercury poisoning. And it was like when you have those bars and you've got the red, the green, and the yellow, it was all the way to the end. And she said, you need to be grateful for your health because if you did not have the nutrition that you've got in your blood, she said anybody with this mercury poisoning level should be bedridden. Like you shouldn't even be able to be working out like you're telling me you're doing. You wouldn't be able to drive to my office, but you have got incredible nutrition in your blood, and that is what is carrying you through. So that was number one. Then when I went to a second functional medicine doctor to help me detox, and also I decided to get my genetics tested to see if I had the genes for the Alzheimer's. And I never look at my blood because I pass out when they're taking blood. So she's over here doing my blood work and I'm looking the other way. And she said, has anybody ever shown you your blood? And I said, no, I don't ever look at my blood. And she said, well, I have never seen anything like this before. And I said, well, what do you mean? And I thought she was going to tell me something was wrong. And she said, you see how pink your blood is. She said, this is showing me that you have very high levels of polyphenols in your blood. And I thought, no way. And she said, no, I'm not kidding. Has anyone ever told you that? I said, never. And so, those are just testimonials recently. This has been within the last 2 years that I was told how good my blood work was. And I've never heard of being able to see your polyphenols in blood work anyways, but like the color of it anyway. But so that was just, confirms all these years of taking it, what it actually is doing. And not just because it's a supplement that we take, but by eating Juice Plus, it actually truly makes you crave healthy food. So you're eating more of it anyway. Like we all of us on the call here we want to eat healthy because we are being fed the same thing every day with the nutrition of Juice Plus. So
Mhm.
I won't go a day without it.
Awesome. Thank you, Karen, for
You're
sharing.
welcome.
And you guys can write anything in the chat if you want. Oh, I've got you still spotlighted. Hold on. Um, and so, I appreciate her sharing that. And so I won't go into all the research. The research is available to you if you are a nerd like me. I love the research.
Me
I
too.
love to know that it works. I've learned so much from living through the research because, like I said, there were only 3 studies at first and now there's 48. But that's the power of what we're supposed to be eating. Okay, but a lot of us just aren't. So people are missing out on vitality and better health when they're not getting enough fruits and vegetables. And this is just such an easy way. It really makes a significant difference and it's so easy. And also, children can get theirs free, age 4 to 26, free with an adult purchase. And they do what happens in a lot of our families. They start consuming better foods because what happens is if you get the Juice Plus into them, they start craving better foods and less of the bad foods. They have better health overall, less doctor visits, things like that. I'm going to now tell you about some other products. The first ones I showed you, that would be the foundation, okay, that I would say has all the research. And if you were only ordering something, it'd be the fruits, vegetables, berries, the trio blend, or the fruits, vegetables, berries, omega. These are awesome extras as well. And so the super biome was just made by our company, and our company's been around for over 30 years. When they do something, they do it good and they make sure that it's a great product. So this is a prebiotic and a probiotic. And so Juice Plus is also a prebiotic because fruits and vegetables are, and fiber is, and so our complete shake and Juice Plus is. But this is like an accelerated version. Like if you want to fix your gut and get better good bacteria and all that good stuff, this is something you drink, which is a prebiotic, and then you take the capsule, and that is a capsule probiotic that goes past the stomach acid. They made sure. I guess some probiotics don't have like the lining on the capsule to make sure that it goes past the stomach and gets to the intestine, but ours does. And also, these fibers are ones that you don't typically eat. And they have a great effect on your intestines as well. And they also ferment at different times and places in the gut to help create that better microbiome. So it's a pretty incredible product, the Super Biome. Our complete shake, that's what I use for breakfast every day for the whole family. This is a way to kind of mimic what the healthier countries eat. And so it's all food. 3 of the ingredients are not on this page. I'm not sure why, but spirulina, pumpkin, and pomegranate are not listed here. But it's got great plant protein, complex carbohydrates, and it keeps your blood sugar level stable. And it's really one of the healthiest meals you can have in a day. So I like to look at that as part of the grocery budget. Actually, I like to look at Juice Plus as part of the grocery budget as well because we're supposed to be eating lots of fruits and vegetables. But this is a meal replacement, or you could have it as an afternoon smoothie or a smoothie bowl. You know how you get those acai bowls? You can make a bowl with toppings. You can make complete treats. We have recipe books. I've used this also with my family for 26 years. Luminate is another newer product, and we love this. A lot of people do. A lot of people turn to energy drinks, and I feel like they really just need to eat better. But also, this is just a fun drink that also helps your brain health. It has great mushrooms. It has lion's mane, which has become very popular for mental health, and ashwagandha. And then it has cordyceps, rhodiola, alpinia galanga, things that I would never eat, probably, but it's Eastern medicine types of ingredients. And I looked up every single one. When this came out, I was like, what is this? And I just got more and more excited. So get with the person who invited you and say, I want to see all the ingredients so I can look them up. You'll see that They've been used for thousands of years in Eastern medicine. So to have it in a mango berry smoothie, I mean, not smoothie, drink. This is just a drink that you can add to water, a little packet. It's mango berry, but guess what? They're coming out with watermelon lime in July. Also, with the complete smoothie, they're coming out with strawberry in June. So, great things are happening there. And Juice Plus is affordable. You know, if you really think about putting it in your budget, it's never been on the chopping block for us. I like to say it's like buying a better body. You know, you can't really put a price tag on how good you feel and the quality of life and your optimal health. And so I want you to think about that. And also, you can get a child free as well. Might be 267 a day for the 3 blends. Try to go to the store and get lots of fruits and vegetables for that. You're not going to get very far with just $3. So it is less than a cup of coffee and it's really good for you. And then, you know, we love for you to share Juice Plus with the rest of your family, friends. Say, hey, have you heard of Juice Plus? It really is a gift that we're so thankful that we got to know about, you know, so spread the word. It really is by word of mouth. The company's been around for over 50 years and you can be a partner as well. You can be a customer. You can also say, well, leaving here, I'm going to try and just eat as many fruits and vegetables as I can. We welcome you to do that. Just know that Juice Plus will always be there. You can get just the fruits and vegetables. You can get as much as you can because more will actually help you more as well. So I'm going to just turn this off and see if I can see you guys. All right.